I've heard you several times mention, I guess, the formula, the strategy, the approach of locate, remove, replace.
Yeah, I wished I'd said that. It's actually somebody else. What got me into this kind of thinking years ago is a book entitled Telling Yourself the Truth by William Backus, PhD psychologist, who has a master's degree in theology. The guy was a pastor for a long time too. William Backus and his co-author, Marie Chapian, she's a PhD, I think in the psychological field too, or counseling. And they wrote a book. Now, the latest editions might be 2000 or something, but I think the first edition went way back in 1981. And that book, I say this in the hopes that it might help somebody. That book has had more effect on me than any book I've ever read outside the Bible. It's helped me more than any one. Now, they say at the beginning, they got a lot of these principles from from non-Christian psychologists, because the principles are true. But there's a whole bunch of Christians who have picked up on this and have put this into very well-known books, like Chris Thurman, telling you the lies that we believe, the lies that we, and You Are What You Think, and those kind of titles. His book is Telling Yourself the Truth. And they give three. Now, a lot of cognitivists, as this species of counseling is called. By the way, it's the most popular. There are all kinds of little spin-offs from it, but the species itself is like the most popular thing going. It's called cognitive or cognitive behavioral therapy, and a lot of people just do it with two steps. It's locate your misbeliefs, locate your lies, and argue against them. They do a third step. Locate your misbeliefs, argue against them, and replace them with truth. Now let's go through each of those. Locate, remove, and replace, the three words you mentioned. Locate is the things that are bothering me. Okay, here's some examples. I just know I'm going to flunk that test next week. And if I do, I think I'm going to get a refusal letter for trying to go to college next year. I think it's going to ruin the rest of my life, and I'm probably going to get a menial job when I could be doing what my life's desire is. All in that test. Yeah, all in that test. I got a feeling this is the end of the world. And besides, I'm not a good test taker. Okay, I'm going to go off for the football team, but I stink. Okay, well, why not poison the well before you even get there? What about asking that guy or asking that girl out? No, because I'm not very popular. I don't have a very good view of myself, and I can't stand to be refused. Okay, well, why don't you just not do it then? What are the options? You think you're going to go out that way? So lying to yourself, and then there's two levels of lying. One is the proximal. I won't make the team. If I flunk that test, I'll never be able to go on to graduate school. If I can't put money in the bank, I can't get my long-term goals. Those are proximal things. But the long-term one is, I'm not about feeling better for the time being. I want to make the kind of decisions that are going to work down the road forever. So really, we give a person, like let's say a late teens type person, we give them a lot of credit for thinking, where am I going to be in 50 years, even if they think they're going to change. Just thinking about those things, as opposed to where am I going to be, in next week, or will I be able to go to the beach next week, Long-term thinking is often thought to be more meaningful. So these things come in different categories, different places, but telling yourself the truth means to not lie to yourself and not say, truly, if X happens to me, this will be the worst thing that ever happen to me. And the counselor will go, is that truly the worst thing that could ever happen to you? Oh yeah, well, how about 5 years from now if you have a child and they're dying of terminal cancer? Oh, I didn't mean that. So then it's not the worst thing, is it? What's the worst thing today? Okay, well, at least you can tell yourself that. It might ruin my day, but I can be better tomorrow. Let's just watch. It's temporary. Let's just watch. So locate the lies, we're saying, and they give you a bunch of examples in the book, because the first 3 chapters tell you how to do locate, remove, and replace, at least in the old edition that I have. Locate, remove, and replace. The rest of the book, you read the chapters that apply to you. So it'd be depression, anxiety, self-hate, anger, maybe procrastination is one of them, I'm not sure. But you know,
Perfectionism is...
perfectionism, those are biggies because you can ruin your life. And you apply these rules to those situations. But they're so good because when they give you a list, here's the lies of anger. And here's how you do when you're reading them. I never. I do that a little bit. Oh, that's a biggie. That's a real biggie. And then you realize you're doing it. So you see, you break them down in parts. Yeah, I didn't think I had an anger problem. I thought I had a little bit of an anger problem. My friends always say I do, but I think I do because now I'm realizing it. All right, so the examples are really, really good. So locate your lies, argue against them. How do you argue against them? That's not true because. That's not true because. Well, why is it not true because? Well, we gave some examples right here. That might ruin my week. It won't ruin next month. It won't ruin where I go to college. It won't ruin my free will in dating or not. It doesn't ruin what television program I turn on, what book I pick up. Those are all free choices. It doesn't affect those things. So tell yourself the truth. I can start losing weight. There you go. Well, hey, if you lose 2 pounds by the end of the week, is that a positive goal? Yeah, well, so you could be different in 2 days. So you work on things like that, proximal and long distance goals. But locate what you're telling yourself. Argue against them. And the thing of arguing against them is this phrase. That's not true because. What's not true because? The lie you just told yourself. So stop lying. Tell yourself the truth. And their third step, which is not always practiced by everybody, the third step is reinforce the previous one with truth. Well, how do you do that? Well, if you're a Christian, you might memorize some key verses that enforce just that. How about Isaiah 26? You will keep him in perfect peace whose mind stays on you. And you go, yeah, say that again. You will keep him in perfect peace whose mind stays on you. I need that. How about Psalm 91? You know, whoever dwells with the Lord dwells in the shadow of the Almighty. He's protected by him. And the two images there change between what a big bird, I assume an eagle, and a fortress like a castle. And those are the things you do for yourself. And Psalm 91, 1 through 4 is one of the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I will not want. Those passages are curing. And so locate, remove, and replace is a way to do that step. Paul says it a lot, but it's a way to do that step when you ask, how do I change my thinking? I know it sounds good. I think you've convinced me. You do it by locating, removing, and replacing.